Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go to the cryptocurrency market. More specifically, I'm going to go over some coins here. A couple coins I'm going to go over with Chiliz, Metis, and Quant, and let you guys know that I think those are going to be really, really good coins in the next wave run. And they've already started theirs. Quant, Metis, and Chiliz. Okay. Chiliz flew under the radar for me. I decided to look it up and do more of a fundamental check on Chiliz. And based off the chart data on Chiliz and based off the fundamentals I'm looking at, I'm more bullish on Chiliz. Okay. More bullish on Chiliz. I wish I would have looked into it sooner, but you can't find them all. You can't find them all. That's one good thing about cryptocurrencies. If you miss a pump somewhere else, there's always another one around the corner. It always happens, guys. That's one of the reasons why you should not have FOMO. You should not have FOMO because you're never going to miss anything out. You think you're going to miss it over there? There's always going to be an opportunity over there. The issue is you see this coin going up. Green candles going up, 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 up. But you got a coin over here. It's not doing anything, right? It's not doing anything. Oh, this coin is sitting over there. That's where it becomes the issue. That's why if you're in the crypto market right now, like I am, and you're getting yourself set up for some coins, obviously I have coins that are going up and I have coins that are not going anywhere. Some might even be going down a little bit, right? It's the nature of the game, guys. You have that. It's a balancing act with your portfolio, right? And then you start, I made videos about this. And then if there's something that you get some signals or something from one coin, and you might have to take a little bit out of there, even at a loss. Remember, you will be taking losses on some of your coins. Don't fall into the trap that you have to always make gains. That's not a good strategy. Just cut it and move on. Cut it and move on. Divorce from the coin. And just keep your losses to a minimum and then move on to the next one. That's just as an example, okay? So right here on my screen, I have the 10-year treasuries. Going over these again. I know people don't like the 10-year treasuries. They'd rather go over and listen to, I don't know, somebody talk about how great things are or something like that, like Coin Bureau or some other channel like that, which is fine. You know, hey, a little bit more entertainment going on over there. But this is reality over here. This is more like reality TV. You know, this is more like reality crypto, the reality crypto show, least amount of followers, least amount of followers, least amount of views, but it's more towards the truth. The truth. Okay, so 10-year treasuries, is it going to peak? Hope's not a strategy, but I kind of hope that they are peaking. But you never know. These things might swing back up and bring the markets back down. So we just have to patiently wait for that to keep going on. Have to wait for the DXY over here to do its thing. Is it playing around in here, making a B wave to shoot back up there? It could be. So we could be in for a little bit more pain, if you will, sideways action, things like that with Bitcoin. And somebody was asking me about this on Twitter about how Bitcoin's going up and then it's being rejected at certain levels. Bitcoin's not going up, guys, because of the bond market, in my opinion. Okay. A lot of people are focusing on the DXY. And the DXY was the issue. It was going parabolic, but it appears that possibly the DXY over here is a peaking process for sure. Whether it's here or it's going to be here remains to be seen. But now the issue is right here, guys. It's the bond market. Okay. The bond market is being stress tested. That's one of the reasons why, in my opinion, the Fed will eventually do a pause or slow down the rate hikes, because if they don't, they will crash the bond market just like they did more or less in the UK. Okay. That's the reason why. So over here, the DXY, if it's already in a correction over here and it's done, it's probably already released its pressure. So with Bitcoin over here, Bitcoin is just going to go sideways because the market dynamics within the market, there's no pressure to make it go up. Okay. Now also too, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain this as simple as I can. I understand it, and I'm just kind of assuming that other people can easily understand this, but I guess that's not the case, that they're not getting it, and that's fine. But if you don't get this, I'll just let you guys know, if you don't get this, just sit down and look at the Bitcoin chart. And the other chart that I'm going to show you is the GBTC chart. Okay. And try to put 2 to 2 together and understand that GBTC, which is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and Bitcoin go together. It's, you know, even though the chart doesn't look exactly the same, they still flow together. Okay. So if GBTC is one that's going to be finishing a correction, then more than likely Bitcoin is going to be finishing a correction. Okay. Not more than likely, it probably is. It's like a 95% odds that it's going to be finishing something too. So you have Bitcoin in this area, and everybody, not everybody, but the grand majority still now with Bitcoin. Okay, I go out here to a weekly chart. I'll show you guys something. Okay, the bears have a few things where the odds are not in their favor. They're not in their favor. Okay, so let's just say, for example, when Bitcoin was in here, okay, going through this process. I was going into some shorts. Had a discussion on a guy. He was telling me Solana's going down 90% from where it is because of massive head and shoulders. And he's right. He's right. There is a massive head and shoulders. But I'll show you guys something about that later on in another video about how head and shoulders don't always work. You got to be careful. Head and shoulders don't always work. Okay. So right here, you do your short and then you went long in there. Okay. And then you did your short again. But see, here's the difference. Here's the difference, guys. Okay, let me show you. In this weekly RSI, you see how high that is? You see how high that is? Look, that one is like well above 50. But you see where it is right now, guys? I'm going to take these off for you. And take these off. I'll show you. You see where it is now? It's way, way down here. It came down here, and now it's in this area. Okay? So, if I take the Bitcoin chart, right? I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart. Where in this chart typically do you buy Bitcoin? Where would we buy Bitcoin? Let's just looking at the chart, and it's obvious you bought it here, you bought it here, you bought it here, and you bought it over here like this. You like right here, right here, right here. So I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, you bought Bitcoin right there, and you made a ton of money. You bought Bitcoin right there, and you made a ton of money. You bought Bitcoin right there, and you made decent money, 3x, and you bought Bitcoin right there, and you made a 10x. There, right there, you did a 30x. Right there, you did like 100x. Right there, you did like a 30x. Right there, you did a 3x. Right there, you did like I think it was like a 10x, something like that. Okay, so now Bitcoin is right here. Okay, so that's one of the things where the bears do not have it in their favor. Okay, so like the odds that Bitcoin is going to be making this drop like that and doing something like this is probably pretty slim, guys. The odds are starting to go more towards me, like you say, me, like I'm a little bit more bullish, saying Bitcoin is going to swing back up. Okay, so just based off that data right there. All right, so you can take a look at that data. You can look at the MACD and just kind of come up with an idea. Go, wait a second. Maybe it is something else that you want to review and check it out. Not going off the sentiment of the media and what's out there in YouTube, even though folks in YouTube are starting to switch a little bit. What was that guy's name? This Jason Pizzi or wherever he's from, the guy from Australia. I mean, guys, listen to him. He's got a big YouTube channel. He's got over 200,000 followers, and he's starting to switch. 30 days ago, I was a little worried about him because he was coming up with some goofy stuff. Now he's starting to make, I watched him last night. I'm like, wow, the guy's starting to make a little bit of sense. So he's flipping. He's like, he's looking at it reasonably. He's looking at it reasonably going, wait a second. Okay. So now that I have that data, I'm going to show you this data with Bitcoin. It's right there right now. I'm going to go over here to the GBTC chart. Once again, I explained this to you. Okay. So this asset has been in a correction since February of 21. Its peak was February 21. It's been in a correction for 550 days, and it's coming down to complete this nice flat move. Okay, this is a move. This is a sequence right here. It's called a flat. It's a very common move in cryptocurrencies. It's like this. You have an ABC. That's called a flat move. And then you have what's called an expanded flat. This is actually very common in cryptocurrencies too. Okay. At the end of a wave, of an impulsive wave, this is very common type of move. It's going up like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes back down into an A, and everybody's like, oh yeah. And this B goes up nice and high, and then bam, it comes down into a C wave. You see, that's an expanded. Then you have the flat, the regular flat type moves. Okay. And you put that like right there. Let's see, just like that. It's called a 3-3-5. A 3-3-5. Waves always moves in 3s or 5s, guys. 3-3-5s. You got 5s and you got 3s. There's nothing else. WXYs are 3 waves. ABCs are 3 waves. Impulse moves are 5. They go up and they go down. It's that simple, guys. Elliott waves, if you look at it with simplicity, it's simple. It's simple. And it's all just behaviors. It's people's psychology. Their mind is right onto a chart. That's all that it is. Don't look at it from a media point of view. Look at it from a mind point of view. What's going on in people's minds? You don't know what's going on in their minds, but it's in there. Okay. Jim Cramer could say, oh, it's all bearish. It's all bearish. But you know what he could be doing? He'd be buying on the side. He's lying to his followers on his channel. And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't buy crap. But he's out there buying stuff because maybe he's like a snake oil salesman type of guy, right? He's like, yeah, I tell him not to buy. And maybe he's trying to get cheaper prices. Oh, wait a second. There are companies and hedge funds that do that, aren't there? Trying to drive down the price and get people scared. I want to get cheaper prices because why? They play the patient. They play the long game, the patient waiting game, more the long game. And then you have GBTC coming down right here, finishing that off with bullish divergence, guys. So the odds are in my favor. The GBTC, I'm going to show you something right here. I go to a daily chart that GBTC is going to be coming down to complete this descending wedge, and it's going to pop out of there, which means Bitcoin at some point will probably, at least at a minimum in this area, do a swing like so. Okay. Now here is what I'm thinking is probably a possibility that could be happening with Bitcoin, guys. Okay. Just like this, and go up, right? And it might go up again like that. And then it might come back down just like this. And then it's scary, but again, bear market is back. And then bam, it's going to go up again, just like so, like that. Okay. See, I'll show you what happened. Just like over here, 2015, right? 2015, it went up, back down, back up, bam. And then it took off. You see, just like that, guys. So that's a possibility that that could be happening. Now, this is really, really good. If Bitcoin does this move right here, this section, there's going to be some altcoins that are going to blast off. Remember what some altcoins did when Bitcoin made that move? If it makes this move, they're going to blast off, guys. I'm telling you. So I'm going to go over those altcoins that are going to blast off. Okay. Let's go over those altcoins that are going to blast off. The one right here is Chiliz. Decided to do a little bit checking at Chiliz. And this is one that just based off the chart data, guys, is a really, really good coin. Decided to research a little bit closer. I didn't know about this one. This one is, it snuck up on me. You can't catch them all, like I said. Now, could Chiliz be in a B wave and come back around and come back over here? There's a possibility, okay? So there's a couple options. One good thing about Chiliz, though, right now, okay, you see how deep it is here in the RSI? So this wave came down real deep, and it took everything out. So you see that area on the daily RSI came over here and took everything out. That's hidden bullish divergence, okay? That's a good signal. You can see right here, just like so, boom, boom. It's, well, maybe exaggerated divergence, but it's kind of like even, came back around. So there's a possibility that one of the things that it could have done is Chiliz could have came down into a 3-way, back up into a B, and back down into a C. This whole thing could have been the correction. Do I know for sure? I don't know. I don't know for sure. So could it come back up and swing back down around here? It could. But this is one that I'll be definitely starting to find entries into for sure on this one. Okay. But if it ended right here, which is 25 August, you take a look at Chiliz. How much time did that take? That took 65 days right there. And then if it was in here, that's 47, 57 days. That's the issue. But if I take the whole wave, if this whole thing was the wave, that's 95 days. Kind of unusual what just recently happened. And then this one's only 34 days. So it could, if it ended right here, then it could go back up and swing back around to these areas on this trend line. Okay. So it's at 19 cents and it could come back down to 14 cents. However, you have to realize that could have been it. That could have been it, right? So what do you do? What do you do? Well, if you're not so sure, I know that the trend for Chiliz is going to be like this. Boom, this way. Okay. So what I do? I have a bag. Let's say, as an example, let's keep it around number. You want to put $10,000 into Chiliz. Okay. But you're not really too sure. I don't want to miss out. You put $500. You put like, you don't put 10%. You put like $500 of that 10 grand. You just put it in there. Okay. One of the reasons I do that too is that I'm taking a risk, could lose some temporarily for it to go back up. But I play the long game. I also play the medium time frame game and the short time frame game. Okay. The short term time frame stuff is not really happening, guys. There's not really any of these trades that you can do. Like some people going over to Bitcoin and doing a trade here, doing a trade there. They're not making much money, and they're putting a lot of risk on the table by going over to Bitcoin and trying to do these little short-term trades with their little bit of leverage on there. To me, right now, it is not in a zone to be doing that. Maybe there's some altcoins you could do that with, but the risk right now is way too high, in my opinion, to get a little bit of gains. Okay, it's better to do it like these areas, right? When there is an obvious downtrend. So that's what I'm going to do. If it's going to come back around, I just load up even more and even more back down here. So that's what I'm doing with Chiliz. Okay, even though they're like, oh, it's going to go down. No, this is a nice blast for Chiliz. That's another one. Okay, Metis is another one right here, guys. Metis has a nice reaction off the bottom. It's been in a correction, and it's just struggling to make its way out of there. And I already been doing all this all along with Metis, all through here, guys, picking it up. 22, I think was 23, 24, and just getting itself bag, getting ready, boom, to get out of there. Can it go up and back down again like this? It could, but all that is an opportunity for you to get some more, or at least for me, get some more, not financial advice, and then ride that wave up with Metis. Okay, Metis is another one. I think it's going to do really well in the next wave run. Okay, and the next one, Quant. You need to check out Quant. So we'll go to Quant over here, right? There's been some discussion like, Greg, that whole thing is a wave one. Could this whole thing right here be a wave one? It could be, but I'm going to show you some evidence in the charts that it's probably not. It's probably not. Here, I'll show you something. You see, it went up onto this wave right here. Okay. You see, so you got from here to here, right? Here to here. So I'm going to show you guys something, RSI. Got to use this little handy indicator down here called RSI. You see that? Look, okay? So there is a cycle up right here, cycle up, and it came back down, broke the cycle, went back up, and went all the way back down here, okay? So this is a cycle. This is a correction. Here is another cycle. You see? You see how this works right here like this. There's another cycle from there to there, and now broke that cycle. So you have a cycle here and you have a cycle there. Therefore, the odds of this all being one wave is very low, because it's you can see it. It obviously broke the cycle. So that's one here, broke it, one here, and now it's in the process of breaking it. Okay. So more than likely with this cycle, what did it do over here? It came down, back up, boom. So you can expect something similar to be going on over here with Quant. Back down, back up, and then boom, right? And they can do another cycle on the daily chart, just like so. So what is it doing? What is it doing? Here, let me go over here. I'll show you guys on Quant. More than likely, Quant setting itself up to be what? Extremely bullish. So here's its cycle. It's either there. It could have ended there. So wave 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay. The reason I say that this is probably 1, 2, and then 1, 2 is because the length of it. The length of it is not far enough to be a third wave yet. So if I take this wave and I check it there and I check it here, you see it's just like a 1-to-1. It's just like a 1-to-1. So more than likely, Quant is going to be in a pretty good correction over here, and then it's going to be going into a massive run. So these are the areas. And if Quant decides to pop back up here, you can take a look at Quant, guys. Let me go to an 8-hour chart. Okay. You have a trend down here, up, and then down. More than likely, that wasn't the end of the correction. If Quant is correcting this whole wave, okay, this whole wave, this is too short and too shallow for this whole wave. So more likely it's down, back up. You know, this is A, B, maybe a C. Looks like it's struggling off. And if you still have some in Quant and it gets up to $200, maybe take some profits. It's something to think about. Not financial advice for it to swing back around. So I'll show you. I'll break this down. This could be your A, B, and maybe it's trying to pull off a C, right? And then that's your ABC within this ABC. So A, B, and then maybe a C. And this down here, this area is going to be the area load up with Quant, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into the details and put all these Fibonacci levels on there. You know, the reason why I don't do that is because it changes. It changes every day. You know, here's your Fibonacci levels today. Tomorrow, you're back on there and changing them on this one. You know how many times you'd be making changes? You're changing Fibonacci levels like every freaking day and every hour if you do it on all these charts. I just keep it simple, guys, okay? Just watch Quant. It's going up to these areas, right? And what does it like to do? Support and resistance. Support and resistance right now. Bam, right there. Bottom of that fourth wave. Be target areas. Be looking for something like that for it to come back down to those areas. Okay. And then, you know, obviously if it busts through there, then you have these next areas, this area right here, and then back down. If you get it down here to 115, 120, these areas, Quant, consider that a gift. I keep saying that over and over. Consider that a gift. And then Quant will be able to finish off its next wave run. And the next target that I have for Quant is 300 plus, 300 plus. So let's see. Let's see. We're going to plan for this. This is what I'm going to plan for, guys. I am going to plan for this. Let's say I have a target on Quant. I said 300, right? It's actually 300 to 350. So I'm going to put, let's be conservative and put it 324.15. Okay. So if I get lucky, let's say Quant decides to go to 125 and then it could go up right there, and you're looking at a solid over 2x, right? And this is all going to be probably not in the next 30 or 45 days. Quant could be in that correction for that long, but you'll have most majority of the people crying and talking about, oh my gosh, you can't make any money in the bear market. Bitcoin's going sideways, not going up. It's not doing a moonshot. But during the whole time, Quant's done a moonshot. Okay, basically, I mean, this is a moonshot to me. You know, 4x more or less. And then if you're in it the whole time, they'll have some in there. I kept some in Quant for me, guys, just because Quant is very bullish, and I don't want to miss it. You know, it could take off right here. It could be done and then just takes off. I don't know for sure. I can never know for sure. That's why I kept a little bit in there, just in case Quant's all like, well, I'm going to keep on going like that. Okay. If you made it all the way to the end of my video, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.